Right now feels like the start of the fake rapper renaissance, and let me explain.
I wanted to leave. Like, I didn't want to stay. I said, I'm very uncomfortable right now. I said, I don't want to do no videos with nobody. I don't want no beef. I don't want no, none of that stuff. You feel me?
I remember late last year seeing a fake Drake trending on social media, and it was pretty hilarious at the time. Real name Izzy, if that matters. Fake Drake quickly became a meme and was pretty much on every social media feed imaginable. It was easy content for rapping culture pages to get loads of engagement, likes, and shares, and surprisingly a flourishing career for Izzy, someone who also claims that he is now doing this to support his family. It's a conundrum to say the very least. Making a career off of impersonating someone else isn't anything new necessarily though, with Beatles cover bands and other impersonators working in entertainment. But for some reason, this one's different. This guy's not on stage riffing Hotline Bling or giving us his best, Jamaican Drake accent. He's just having his friends either film him tricking people into thinking he's Drake, or just walking around essentially being a cardboard cutout of Champagne Papi himself. And somehow he turned that into true paid club appearances, in which he says that he makes up to $5,000 an appearance, which I find to be a stretch, but I also have no familiarity in the game. But he's not the only one who's combined the art of impersonation with being an influencer, on top of profiting off of somebody who's represented by some pretty powerful labels. Enter Perkio, the Lil Durk lookalike whose economic ventures under the guise of being Durk has put him in a similar situation as fake Drake, but with a severe caveat. And that is the controversy and beef associated with the person you are impersonating also coming to you. And that is where this conundrum really starts to unfold. There's not much out there about this Perkio kid, and he looks pretty young, and that also tells me that he's probably maybe a minor or still pretty young, because there's not much out there about him whatsoever. And 6ix9ine, I guess, took advantage of that fact by making him a prop and putting a King Von jacket on him with Perkio looking very visibly confused, which would be funny if you didn't have the context, and the context being this is a disrespectful virtue signal, and one that brings some unfair but sensical complications to the influencer's livelihoods. I mean, I'm wasting my breath if I explain why it's unethical and weird for 6ix9ine to do this, but I think you know that. What is worth discussing is Perkio's response to this on his Instagram Live, in which he explains the situation in detail, stating that he knew about the 6ix9ine music video and its shade towards Durk and Von, and just didn't want to disrespect OTF.
It's just crazy to me, bro. How you using me for clout? Like, 6ix9ine, literally, bro, you need to man up, bro. You need to man up and then go directly to Durk, you feel me? You using my face because I look like Durk. You using my face to disrespect the crew. That's really lame.
And it seems that the youth of Perkio and the situation he's in was also taken advantage of by SteveWillDoIt and the Nelk boys. And they're trying to just, I guess, wedge their way into this beef any way possible. And, with SteveWillDoIt saying, like, yeah, I'll give you $1 million if you can prove that it was set up. Like, I don't know. I really, don't care at all about that, because look, you got the clown rapper and the clown YouTuber both feeding off of clout more than the typical influencer that's in their lane, and prove to be willing to use anyone as the pawn to help themselves. And to find this phenomenon of fake rappers wedged in between this as well seems to be the logical conclusion to this conundrum that I've been trying to unpack. Yet Perkio seems to be the first to face real-life consequences for his newfound career. Thankfully though, the real Lil Durk seemed to take the whole thing in jest though, tweeting out that, it's all good to him because he got #1. And it's also not super surprising, because I also looked and saw that Perkio is in a music video for a Lil Durk song, and on top of this, Durk brought him out on stage in Miami the other week. So a happy ending for Perkio, but he's actually just getting started, or it could be the end of his journey. And that's the thing, we don't know. This fame could be gone tomorrow and they might not even know it. As at the end of the day, fake Drake and fake Durk are glorified content creators, and that their niche of hip-hop impersonations gained them credible write-ups and articles on XXL, TMZ, Complex, and many other prominent publications that further feeds their clout and the public's fascination with the what's, hows, and whys behind the seemingly niche appeal that ends up being more far-reaching than I'd initially think. I'm sure they have or will soon have some sort of management, brand deals, sponsorships, YouTube channels, the whole getup. That's if things go right. And something tells me that they'll have to do something pretty innovative to stay in the limelight, and staying relevant is hard when your impersonations essentially boil down to looks and lip syncing. But Fake Drake actually made some pretty funny commentary at some club appearances.
It's all part of God's plan.
And Drake still approves of this just as Durk approves of what Perkio's doing, and I think that's the bottom line. If they can do it, go ahead and do it. But the consequences of association can start to illuminate themselves as time goes on, and the same can be said of the burden of trying to maintain just a sliver of the relevancy that stems from the superstars that you just happen to